15-year-old girl, a rising pop star, and a horrifying discovery in the front trunk of a Tesla. The death of Celeste Rivas has set off a firestorm of questions and speculation. So what really happened? As the police investigation unfolds, it's revealing a complex timeline, from parking tickets to a deleted livestream. In this video, we'll conduct a full investigation, laying out every piece of available evidence so you can understand the truth of what we know and what we don't in the search for justice for Celeste Rivas. On September 8, 2025, the music world was shaken by a deeply disturbing discovery. The body of a young girl, later identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, was found inside a Tesla associated with the popular singer D4VD. This wasn't just a tragedy, it was the start of a confusing and complicated mystery that has created far more questions than answers. The two central figures in this story are Celeste Rivas, a girl from Lake Elsinore, California, described by her family as a beloved daughter and sister, and David Anthony Burke, the 20-year-old musician known as D4VD. D4VD rose to fame with viral hits like Romantic Homicide, which are known for their melancholic and often dark themes. Police are investigating the relationship between Celeste and D4D, and law enforcement sources have said they are reviewing photos and videos of the two of them together. What appeared to be a young romance has now become the focus of a major police investigation, led by the LAPD's Elite Robbery Homicide Division. The discovery of Celeste's body sparked a media frenzy, with public speculation running wild. However, police have repeatedly urged for caution, stating that as of early October 2025, there is no evidence to name D4D as a suspect, and the case remains a death investigation, not a homicide. This video will break down the complete known timeline of events, from Celeste's multiple disappearances to the shocking discovery. We'll analyse the key pieces of evidence the police are working with, explore the controversy around D4VD's music and public silence, and outline the critical unanswered questions at the heart of this ongoing investigation. To understand this case, you have to go back to the beginning. The timeline is crucial because it shows a pattern of events that are both confusing and deeply tragic. Celeste Rivas had a history of running away from her home in Lake Elsinore, a small city miles from Hollywood. According to records from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, her family reported her missing on multiple occasions, with incidents starting in February 2024. Her mother posted emotional pleas on social media for her to return, and neighbours saw missing person flyers in their community. Each time, she would eventually come home. But after disappearing again in the spring of 2024, she wouldn't return. Police records show numerous calls were made to the family home between February 2024 and April 2025. Months later, the story shifts to a quiet street in the Hollywood Hills, on Bluebird Avenue, near a multi-million-dollar home D4D was renting. In August 2025, neighbours started noticing a black Tesla parked on the street for weeks. After complaints were made, the car was ticketed on September 3rd, and just 2 days later, on September 5th, the vehicle was declared abandoned and towed to an impound lot in Hollywood. It was there, on September 8th, that the horrifying discovery was made. Workers at the tow yard reported a foul odour coming from the car. When they opened the front trunk, they found the decomposing remains of a young girl. Because of the body's condition, it took authorities over a week to make a positive identification. The victim was Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The discovery was made just 1 day after her 15th birthday, though police believe she had been dead for several weeks and likely never saw that day. This is where the case hits a critical and frustrating roadblock. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office has been unable to determine how Celeste died. Her cause of death is officially listed as deferred. This means the initial autopsy was inconclusive, and they are waiting on the results of further tests, like toxicology reports, to get a clearer picture. This single detail is the biggest obstacle in the investigation. Without a confirmed cause of death, police cannot classify the case as a homicide, which limits their ability to name suspects or persons of interest. As one legal expert noted, the severe decomposition could compromise forensic analysis and might even lead to the cause of death being permanently ruled undetermined. With the discovery of Celeste's body in a car associated with him, D4D was immediately thrust into the centre of the investigation. The LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division executed a search warrant on his Hollywood Hills residence, collecting evidence that included a computer and other personal items. Through his legal team, D4D has maintained that he is cooperating fully with the investigation. However, he himself has remained completely silent. Almost immediately after the news broke, D4D cancelled his upcoming tour dates. He also hired Blair Burke, a high-profile criminal defense attorney known for representing major celebrities. Hiring a prominent lawyer doesn't imply guilt. It's a standard move for anyone involved in a high-stakes investigation. Shortly after the police search, D4D broke his lease and moved out of his rental home. His current whereabouts are unknown. The silence from D4D and his team has been filled by a storm of online speculation. Much of the public's attention has focused on his music and artistic persona. His breakout hit, Romantic Homicide, and its music video have been heavily scrutinised. An old interview also resurfaced where D4D discussed a fictional creative persona, which has only fueled more debate online. Police have stated that this kind of online speculation has not produced any verifiable evidence. The LAPD has also noted that without a determined cause of death, it's unclear if there is any criminal blame beyond the potential misdemeanor of concealing a body. The key questions for investigators are not just how Celeste died, but how her body ended up in the trunk of that car and who put it there. The fact that the car was abandoned for weeks raises another layer of questions about who had access to it and what they knew. The search for answers in this case is far from over, and it relies on careful, fact-based investigation. If you're finding this breakdown valuable and want to stay informed as the case develops, please consider liking this video and subscribing for future updates. Your support helps us continue to do this in-depth work. As it stands today, the investigation is active, but the path forward is clouded with uncertainty. Let's summarise what we know for sure and then look at the critical questions that investigators are trying to answer. We know Celeste Rivas, a 15-year-old with a history of running away, was found deceased in a Tesla linked to 20-year-old singer D4D. We know she had likely been dead for several weeks before her discovery on September 8th. We know the LAPD has searched D4VD's former home and that he is cooperating with the investigation but has not been named a suspect. And most importantly, we know that the cause of death is still a mystery, pending toxicology reports. This leaves us with a number of profound and disturbing questions. First, and most critically, what happened to Celeste Rivas? Was her death the result of an accident, a medical issue, or foul play? The toxicology report is the single most important piece of evidence that could unlock this part of the mystery. Until then, the case cannot officially be treated as a homicide. Second, who placed her in the trunk of the Tesla? According to LAPD Captain Scott M. Williams, we know for sure that Celeste Rivas died and someone placed her body in the front trunk area of D4VD's Tesla. This confirms an act of concealment, but doesn't tell us who did it or why. Third, who knew the car was parked on that street, and who had access to it? The vehicle sat for weeks, long enough for residents to complain and for it to be ticketed. Was D4D the only person with access to the car, or could someone else have used it? And finally, what was the nature of the relationship between D4D and Celeste? While police are investigating their connection, the full context of their time together remains unclear, especially given their age difference and Celeste's history as a runaway. The tragic death of Celeste Rivas is a story defined by what we don't know. While the discovery in the trunk of a car tied to a celebrity makes for a shocking headline, the reality is a slow, methodical investigation that's far from over. The police are waiting on science, the family is waiting for answers, and the public is left to grapple with the disturbing facts that have emerged. While we know how and where Celeste was found, the biggest question remains. What happened to her? The answer lies somewhere in the missing weeks of her life and in the toxicology results that have yet to be released. This is not just a story about a celebrity controversy. It is about a 15-year-old girl whose life ended in the most tragic way imaginable. We will be following this case closely and will provide an update as soon as the full autopsy report is released or any other significant developments occur. What are your thoughts on the evidence presented so far? Please share them respectfully in the comments below as we all wait for justice for Celeste.